Getting into our game here. Spawning in the top right. Total in the race despite he's playing random. From Ris3n community as our purple random Protoss. It's Revolts. And his opponent in the bottom left of Lost and Found in green from the Confederation. He's going to pause the game. It's Revolt. His cat. What did your cat do, my dude? Just a wait for a moment. Thank you to Kevin for that follow there, bud. Appreciate it. That first game he played was quite the game. Wasn't it? That's all I can say. Getting back in. I'm not sure if that meant that his cat had hopped onto his desk, his laptop, his keyboard, whatever. Cats are jerk like that. At the same time I say that, my dog was behind me lapping up water very loudly. He knows I'm talking about him too. Gateway on the way here for Revolt. Again, there's early game, not going to see a whole lot that's really that interesting. If no one's going to be cool in proxy. Both players just going to scout across the map here. Second gateway on the way. Actually, second gateway on the way this early. Against the Terran player. Possibly non-standard, possibly I just don't know. Wait and see what he decides to do with that. Two gateway openers are probably more common in the other two matchups for Protoss than they are against Terran, but still a functional, safe, possibly aggressive opener. Probe running away here from the SCV. I think it was probably bugging the SCV given that it did lose some health here. Command center thrown down the natural, and I imagine this is going to happen here. Yup. Being a jerk. Saying, hey, SCV, what's up? See, if you ever get in a situation, what you have to do is because that happens, and your probe will stop attacking you if it's just on an A move. Just A click on the building SCV, or whatever it happens to be, and shift A click on it a bunch of times. The probe will follow that SCV around, you don't have to pay attention to it. Agility will hopefully get you a kill. Gateway is actually being crowded out here. A couple stalkers on the way as well, so this is going to be probably a relatively aggressive opener from Revolt. He does have a natural Nexus coming down, so it's not like he's going to all in off of the back of this, but it is going to be kind of frightening. Actually, that Reaper, oh, it might survive. Okay, it does get out. It does die, I mean. Reaper almost survived. That was a nice grenade there. I just wasn't quite able to do it. Twilight Council on the way, so as soon as that Reaper is gone, Revolt throws down his tech. And now it's going to be up to Spagoot to figure out what the heck is going on. He's going for that 2-2-1. 2-2-1-1-1 over 2-1-1 opener. Good lord, there's numbers. Factory finishes up. Imagine Starport's going to be bumping down right back on behind it. Be able to get in the medic production pretty quickly here, but he's actually pretty low on minerals. And actually, a couple stalkers pulling in here. The bunker wasn't finished yet, and honestly, this is going to be a problem. He's going to actually have to pull some SCVs, perhaps. Okay. Well. Revolt is happy enough just to deal with what's down at the natural, I suppose, but he's going to walk into the main base like, wait, you have nothing right now. He's going to kill the SCV that is building that starport there. He's going to go after the tech lab, which is actually really smart, even though it's not yet producing anything. It's just an intelligent idea. SCVs have to get pulled off. They're going to surround one of these stalkers. Stalker has nowhere to go, really. One stalker should be able to get out. He does kill off one of the Marines. Yeah, still being annoying over here. This is a pain. Meanwhile, back home, Charge is going to be the upgrade of choice out of that Twilight Council. This Stalker is still being annoying. I wonder if he's going to close it. Nope. He's going to let him out. Going to go after a mule, which is always annoying. That's so much possible minerals that you're going to lose if that mule goes down. The mule is going to run away, try and retain its life, but it does get sniped down eventually. 3 Marines will eventually chase this Stalker away, but 2 Stalker opener. Pretty decent. Getting that amount of work done. 2 more gateways coming up and a couple of forges actually coming up here for Revolt. So an interesting open from our random Protoss player here. Gets a little bit of work done on the other side. He killed off 4 SCVs. by sending those stalkers over. It was only 2 stalkers. He only lost the one of them. This stalker has 7 kills. Like, damn. Observer is on the way across the map. And there is a drop picked up already. He may actually run directly into the path of this observer. Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's actually happening.
Research finished.
So that's just unfortunate. That is just so unfortunate for Spagoot. Ran directly into that. But I mean, there's only a couple of sentries and a zealot here. At the same time, Stim is still a little bit of ways away. Not quite finished yet. I'm curious if Revolt's going to just go for this third base. And he sees it again. I'm curious if Spagoot... Yeah, Spagoot's going to walk over and say, yeah, you're not going to take that. And you saw me, so I guess I'll just drop this and take care of that real quick. And did he... Okay, well, he's trying to... I don't know, bait him out a little bit with the stalkers. Oh, he's going to get another one. Oh, he blocks the Nexus. How about that? And there's no blink either, because charge was the first upgrade. So these stalkers are, you know, they're fast, but they're slow getting around. A lot slower than a medevac boost. It's going to boost into the main base. And Stim is finished now. He could get a lot of probe kills here if he wants to do that. And he does. He's going to drop those down. Army coming in from the natural base. 4 probes killed off. He's going to stem and actually going to pick up. Oh, he may lose that. He may lose that. Yep, that's painful. 4 probes killed at the cost of a medevac full of Marines. Pretty rough. He did deny this third base for a little bit of time, so that's pretty cool. And back home, there isn't a third command center coming up. Revolt does know that there's no third command center. Actually, he's just checking around now, making sure that you didn't build it over here at the natural. He's just going to see everything that's going on here. Third Nexus on the way for Revolt as well. Robobay is on the way, and he's already got +1/+1. He's got +2/+2 on the way even. Upgrade machine coming from our Protoss player, and upgrades are going to be a big deal. I don't think we have an engineering bay out yet at all for Spagoot. Yeah, there's definitely no engineering bay that's out at all. So that could be troublesome. Especially if he ends up taking a fight where it's +2/+2 against 0/0. Colossus production is started. There's a second Robo that finished up, so double Colossus. I don't think he's got the range upgrade just yet. No, he doesn't. It's going to be a while before those are super effective. But still, even just the threat of them, until they are scouted, it can be such a surprise. There are a lot of tanks here for Spagoot, which he did last game against the Protoss player, which worked out pretty well for him. But he doesn't know exactly what's going on tech-wise from his opponent. Big army moving out here for Spagoot. One of the biggest differences here for Revolt in his favor is the fact that he actually has charge now. And he saw that army moving out, and is he just going to try to intercept it? I think he's going to say, hey, I'm going to intercept this army. Actually, he gets in front of the medevacs even. He was trying to run back home, but he may actually pick up a medevac. He's going to have to get out here now. He might want to get away from that. That's way too much to try to engage this. Tanks in the back, that's a lot of bio, even with the upgrades. Colossus are not quite out just yet. Army supply is relatively even, but it's mostly in these Colossus that's going to help us out. Nice force field there. He almost traps a lot of that bio in. It's going to force Spagoot back and make him wait for a while. I'm sure Spagoot's going to want to just pick up and go home. Looks like he's just going to turn around, go back home. Doesn't want to lose much more than he already did. That was a really dangerous spot to be in there for Revolt. Really nice force fields. Kept most of the army back. It kept Spagoot from being able to really deploy those siege tanks. Get a lot of damage done. Same time, Spagoot's third has landed. The Stalker does see that pretty much immediately. It's going to get an SCV kill just for free. It's going to blink on out of there as well. You still see the Colossus production here from Revolt. I mean, he saw the tanks. He saw the last game. And he sees the tanks are still being produced. Actually, they may have stopped being produced. But still, it's 3 tanks. He's got the double rebel facilities. Why not throw in a couple of Immortals just to help things out? More gateways coming in. We have the Templar Archives started as well, about halfway finished. Yeah, so the tech here for Protoss player is nice and steady. Warp Prism on the way as well. And there's a drop picked up by our Terran player. Let's see what he decides to do with that. And if the Protoss is moving out at the same time. I mean, he may have seen that. He does have the Observer over here still. Oops, not on the wrong right vision. He does have the Observer here still, so he does know that is a possibility. He does have a couple of Stalkers in the main base, but not too many, and it is 2 medevacs. And this could be problematic. It's a lot of units coming to third base, but these tanks here should push them away for a bit. Drop coming into the main. Stalkers are here, but there's only 2 of the Stalkers, and now that the bio is being dropped out, 4 Zealots warped in, but a lot of those are going to die before they even actually get finished warping in. About 10 Marines there. They don't have any upgrades, though, and they are going up against +2/+2 upgraded units, and the entire army for Revolt turns around, goes back home. No recall. He does have the recall available, but he hasn't decided to use it. He's just content to walk home. He's going to get on top of this now. 1 medevac does go down. The second one will get on out, though. Where did that Warp Prism go? There's a Warp Prism somewhere for our Protoss player. Here we go. Down in the natural. Eventually it may go somewhere decent. A lot of Colossus to deal with. We do have Viking production has started. I don't have any Vikings out just yet. He's only on 4 medevacs. He's lost quite a few of them, 2 drops throughout this game. It's a pretty low Viking count, all things considered. But he is adding on 2 more starports to deal with the fact that he has on a pretty low Viking count and low medevac count, to deal with the fact that his opponent has a bunch of Colossus. But Colossus production has stopped for now. We do have a 4th Nexus finished up for the Protoss player as well. Storm is about halfway finished too. Just a lot of things happening all at once here. We have 3-3 finished already for the Protoss player. No upgrades have finished yet for the Terran. He's about to be on 1-1. That is a massive discrepancy in upgrades. To the point where, if it weren't for all these darn tanks, it's a lot of tanks, Revolt could probably just run right over this. As it stands, he has to be extremely careful. Medevac starts to pick up. There he goes. He does pick up 1. He may run this right into the Warp Prism as well, which would be kind of funny, kind of sad. Engagement going to try and come down here, but again, it's just all these tanks sitting over here, and a nice supply depot wall as well, keeping all those Zealots behind. Hard to deal with, to say the least. Medevac dropping is going to be going into the 4th base eventually. They do drop the units, but they haven't actually done anything with them just yet. Revolt in a decent position. Doesn't know if this is actually happening. Medevac stems in with its drop. 1 cannon goes down, a huge warp into Zealots. At the same time, the 3rd base is under fire by the Protoss player. Warp End cleans up that drop. Not a lot to speak of for our Terran player. A lot of tanks back here, however, so to actually clean this up, he's going to have to get through this. A lot of feedbacks, so the mechs are completely out of energy. Storm's going down as well. Not a lot left over here on the ground for our Protoss player, however, but he did kill that 3rd base. He cleaned up a bunch of SCVs. He's actually going to lose pretty much his entire army for it, though. Again, so many tanks, no immortals, a little difficult to deal with. Couple of Archons here helping out as well. They do get on out there and survive. Revolt's going to go back home, realizing, hey, I did a bunch of damage. I think I'm fine. I think that was just the medevac got kind of forced back into that area and got killed off by photon cannon, since the drop was cleaned up. Still nothing has been done by that Warp Prism. Still been hanging out over here, doing pretty much nothing. 4 Stargates in production at this point. Not a bad decision. But maybe an unnecessary one. Big Warp into Zealots. They're going to go take out some things to deal with that. Same time, engagement on the other side of the map probably going to come in. Zealots taking everything out. Just looking what's happening everywhere, constantly. As the army goes and deals with that, the main army is on the other side of the map, taking out some more production. Probably going to walk away. There are no medevacs. There are 0 medevacs on the field. These poor stem Marines. No healing. Spagoot realizes that. He's like, I need some medevacs. And instantly fires up a couple of those. Another base has been taken by Revolt. Eventually, he will be able to power through this, but it's just so difficult breaking this position. It's like playing a TBT where you're dealing with a mech Terran as a bio player. You don't want to just run in because you'll lose everything as the players pass each other on opposite sides of the map. Tank shots go off. Army once again just walking into the firing line, but there's just so much, and the upgrades are just so good for our Protoss player. He even has a fleet beacon on the way, so he was planning on going into the carriers if he wanted to do that. Contingent of Spagoot's army is on the other side of the map at the 4th base, but his natural is being run over currently. Almost all the SCVs have been killed off here at this point. I guess there's still a bunch of SCVs in the main base, mining happily away. The production is under fire. So we're going to do some damage over here, but a big old warp into Zealots will clean this up. Charge lots, get the surround, almost like a Zergling surround at that point. There we go. GG from Spagoot. Ris3n will tie the series up at 2.